I'd like to begin by sharing a quote that is meaningful to me. Life is like photography. We develop from the negatives. Let's look at this photo. Some of you may remember the old Polaroid photos, like this one, where you had to let it sit and allow time to pass to wait for it to develop. By waiting, the Polaroid went from being a black square to a fully developed picture. Today I plan to illustrate the correlation between the quote and its meaning and how it relates to my life. You may be thinking now, the negatives, this is going to be depressing, but I can assure you, my goal I plan to express is how my life's negative experiences evolved into something different over time. As we know, life can bring us many challenges, and with those challenges, we had to go through negative experiences. I used to view challenges and negative experiences as a roadblock. Though, as a result of negative incidents over time, I am able to recognize how negative experiences allowed me to grow and develop as a person. First, let's consider how many of us view negative events. We are often told that everything happens for a reason in a person's life. Let me clarify how I was able to conceive that this statement is in fact true. Before now, I used to ask myself, how can bad things lead to anything good and have a purpose? Though after much contemplation, I have acquired the skill to understand how something good can actually arrive from a negative. First, in order for me to illustrate my point, I will examine my negative experiences and unveil how I was able to link these experiences toward my own development. To begin, I will tell you my first example of a negative experience. I was injured in a car accident, which was someone else's fault. I suffered a back and neck injury and had to receive ongoing physical therapy over the course of several months. This specific event served as a catalyst for me to search for greater understanding for the purpose as why bad things happen for a reason. Before arriving to a conclusion, I underwent many emotions such as anger, frustration, before having the ability to understand and appreciate the meaning and answer to my question. Moving along, let me provide you with a positive element to my car wreck. As a result of my injury, it forced me to slow down in all areas of my life, which allowed me to allocate more time to personal needs that weren't being met. Next, I'll explain another negative event that I experienced. I lost my job, which was upsetting, but I later realized that it wasn't fulfilling. Consequently, I took this opportunity from after my job loss to search for stimulus that led me to school, which has the potential to lead me to many more opportunities in my life. Finally, I will end with one more experience. I failed a test. After preparing for hours and hours, which left me feeling unjustified. In spite of ill-mannered feelings, I discovered that I didn't fail the test because the professor failed to instruct. I failed the test because I needed to restructure how I was learning the course material and studying the content. I believe this was the most valuable learning experience of all. As a result of all of these experiences, I now view negative outcomes as a vessel to lead me into further development for my future. So, to fill in any missing gaps, let me take a moment to recap. As I mentioned earlier, life bears many challenges that may result in going through something negative. It may be difficult to understand why negative events happen, but I trust that after hearing my experiences and what they led me to, that you too are able to make the connection between the quote and how it relates to a person's life, just as I have done by explaining how the negative experiences eventually led to my own growth and development, as the evidence from my stories helped express. Now I view the underdeveloped dark black Polaroid that represents my negative life experiences as the later developed Polaroid picture that required time to develop, just as I needed time to develop my own negatives. Let me conclude by saying, today I embrace life's negatives that transpire. I plan to continue to view my life as pictures that will continue to develop and plan to create my own full album to review and reflect upon throughout my life. Thank you. Here are my note cards and my outline. You can see.